Hello and welcome to this online course orientation for COP1000, Introduction to Programming Concepts. And I'm Colin Archibald, and students call me Dr. A. I call myself Dr. A now because it's a lot faster to type. Turn on your speakers. There's sound in this video. If you heard me say that, you already have your sound turned on. I hope you have a sense of humor. That will help. So what we're going to do in this orientation is kind of go through how the course will work and how to find things, how to find your assignments and how to submit your assignments, and give you some do's and don'ts about how to get through this class successfully. It's a lot of fun. This learning computer programming is fun, and this class is for people who have not programmed before. So if you have programming experience, well, it's going to be easier than expected. You might be a first time in college student, or you might be an adult student who's coming back to college after some years. We have a wide variety, but you are expected not to know anything about programming, and we're going to begin at the beginning. Okay, so let's go and look at the online tools that we'll use for organizing our work in this online class. So we use a tool at Valencia called Blackboard. A good way to find it, you might have your own way of finding Blackboard already, but a good way to find it is to go to the Valencia homepage, and then under Quick Links there is a link for online courses. And you get to this page, which takes you to the login page, and you log into Blackboard using your Atlas username and password. And when you get into Blackboard, you'll find on the right a list of classes that you're registered for. And the one that we're talking about today is COP1000. So if you enter that course, you'll get to a page that looks something like this. Well, there's no announcements yet. I had intended to put a welcome message up there. I'll do that when I get around to it. So let's look at the things here on the left, the announcements, things that I want to tell you that are not part of the regular doing your assignments and submitting them. The syllabus is here. You don't have to make your own copy of it. You can if you want, but that document will be here the entire semester. If I change it, I will tell you in an email that I've changed it. Here's the discussion board. For whatever reason, took a longer time to launch than I expected. So the first thing to do is to go into the introductions discussion and introduce yourself there. So create a thread and tell us about who you are, why you're in this class, what your objectives are. It's a good idea to get to know the people who are in your class. It's helpful when you get stuck on something. The next thing over here on the left is my grades. I don't have grades, but your grades for your assignments and your tests and so on will appear under here. Communication with me and with your classmates will be done here in Blackboard email. So you don't have to exchange email addresses with your classmates. If you say create a message, and here are all of your classmates, and here is me, so you can send communication to your classmates and to me using Blackboard email. And I prefer Blackboard email because it gives me some context. If you send it to me through my college email, then you have to tell me what class you're in and what assignment you're on and all of those things. If you send it in Blackboard, then I have all of the information I need to know who you are and why you're sending me an email. Okay, assignments and quizzes. So this is where I'm going to deliver to you the work that you have to do for the course. And student assessment of instruction, there is nothing under here yet. I assume that towards the end of semester the college will fill that in and you can go and do the assessment of the instruction. So let's go back to the assignments. Oh look, there's an assignment 1 already. There's a quizzes folder, but there's nothing in it yet. There's miscellaneous documents. I will tell you when I throw stuff in there. Usually there's an assignment that needs some extra documents and I throw them in there so you can find them. Well, let's come back to assignment 1 after we go and look at the syllabus. So the syllabus for the course is kind of like the contract for the course, and in the Valencia way of doing things, if you don't withdraw from the class, then you agree to what's in the syllabus. So this is the syllabus document, and this is for spring of 2014 semester. I'm going to try and reuse this online orientation video for summer and fall of 2014. So your syllabus, if this is not spring, January of 2014, your syllabus dates will be different, and we will you should look through the syllabus and make sure that there's nothing else that's been changed, but very little will change in this syllabus through 2014, just the dates for each of the semesters. So here is my contact information, my office, and this is my regular college email. Office hours will get posted as an announcement in Blackboard. We don't decide what the hours will be until after the syllabus has to be completed. So that will be posted as an announcement. This is the course description that's in the college catalog, and the outcomes of the course. If you understood what these meant, you probably wouldn't need to take the course. So it's put there to kind of serve as a target that will be unfolded as we go along. Okay, in an online class there's advantages and disadvantages, and one of the disadvantages is how difficult it is to communicate, to have face-to-face meetings with the students, and we mitigate that by requiring a webcam and a Skype account. So if you get stuck on something and you send me an email and say my computer's going all crazy, I don't know how to help you with that. But if we connect on Skype and you show me what's going on your machine using screen sharing, then I can pretty quickly pinpoint what the problem is. So a Skype account is not that complicated. Go to skype.com and set it up. Try not to complain too much about how difficult it is to get Skype set up, or I'll tell you about Skyping with my mother. She has no problem with it, and she's well in her 80s. So Skype is just a very useful tool for closing the gap between faculty and student. So one of the things that you do in this class is you watch online videos, video lectures that present the material to you in a progressive way, and a lot of people are now watching these on YouTube, so I've made some videos for this class, and they exist in two places: on my faculty server at the college, and it tends to be a little bit easier to watch them on YouTube. So there is no textbook required for this class because of these videos. The material is presented in the videos. Some people like to have a textbook, and the C language that we're going to learn in this class has been around for a long, long time. So there are free books available, and here's a link to a wiki book, which is really a very good book for C programming language. And poke around in there when you get stuck on something, and mix reading and watching videos with solving the problems in the assignments. So this is how you're going to arrive at a grade for the course. There are a few quizzes. They're very short, and they will be done in Blackboard. One midterm test, one final exam. The date of the midterm test is not decided in advance. I kind of know when it's going to be, just after March break sometime. The dates for the final exam are decided in advance. There will be 3 possible dates. And these 2 items are done in a testing center. So they are closed book in a proctored testing center. If you are very close to Valencia, you go to a Valencia testing center. That's the expected way of doing this. If you are out of town, if you're not in Orlando, then you can make arrangements to have the tests and the final exam proctored at another college. And you need to send me an email if you're going to do that. Give me enough time to help you get it set up. So the way that it works, if you're, for example, in Palm Beach and you want to go to Palm Beach College Testing Center, you get the contact information and send it to me, and then I make contact with the testing center there. But you have to find the testing center. That's fairly rare. Almost everyone just goes to a Valencia testing center. So, a bunch of assignments, 11 or 12, I'm not sure which, and this is not self-paced. Those have to be done at specific times. Except for the first and the last assignment, you can turn them in late. The last assignment, I don't have time to grade them if they're turned in late, and the first assignment is called the no-show assignment. The no-show assignment is it's not my rule. It's not even the college's rule. This is a federal rule. If you don't show up for your class, you are withdrawn as a no-show. And what we decide is, what do you have to do to show up? In an online class, you don't physically show up in a classroom and sit down. So in an online class, you do assignment 1 by the no-show date. So here are the weights that I'll use to decide your grade for the class. The assignments are worth 40%. So if there's 11 of them, each one will be worth just less than 4 points, I guess, 4%. The midterm and the final, which are closed book and in the testing center, are 50% of your grade. And the quizzes and participation in this online class are the remaining 10%. And then in the usual Valencia way, if you score 90 or above, you get an A. And if you score below 60, you get an F, and everything in between. Okay, so assignments, a midterm, a final, and quizzes. Some of the syllabus is what I cut and paste. So I will withdraw you right after the no-show assignment is past due if you haven't submitted anything. If you want to withdraw from the class, you can do so in Atlas by the withdraw date. The important dates are on the next page. So if something horrible happens, if you get sick or have a family emergency of some kind, you can let me know about that, and we can make arrangements to flex the dates. Don't get away with that for every assignment the entire semester. It has to be something that I believe is a genuine concern. So here's one that's worth pointing out. It happens every semester that more than one student will pass in the same assignment. And one of the students will say, well, I did it, and the other person used my work. Maybe both of you will say, I did it, and the other one used my work. But it doesn't matter to me. Both of you have broken the academic honesty policy. And there are serious consequences to that, so just don't do it. Okay, so here are the dates, and remember that this video might be used for more than one semester. So this is January of 2014, and your class begins on January the 6th. If you want to drop and have a refund for the class, you must do that by January 14th, and that's also the no-show deadline. If you have not submitted assignment 1 by January 14th, then you will be withdrawn. Here's the withdraw deadline. If you want a W on your transcript, so you're going to bail out of the class, you have to do that by March 21st. A few other dates that the college is closed, January 20th and February 7th are not too interesting for an online class. We don't have classes that will be canceled on those dates. And March 3rd to 9th is the study break, which you guys probably call spring break or March break or something like that. You can also study during those days. And the final exam is already decided. You will go to a testing center on one of those 3 dates. If you have a disability, you have to tell me about it, and you have to work with the Office for Students with Disabilities at the college. That's just how it works. If you get in trouble of some kind, personal trouble, stress, anxiety, depression, adjustment difficulties, all of these things, the college offers to students at no charge the Student Assistance Program, and you can go and get some help through this company called Baycare. And it's a good idea. Lots of students overextend themselves and work full-time and go to school full-time and have full-time family responsibilities, and then something gives way and you need some help, and don't be afraid to go and get that help to get back on track. So we have about 16 weeks, and this is kind of what I think we're going to be doing in these 16 weeks. This is a little bit flexible. We might go faster, we might go slower. So the syllabus is the rules for the course. Let's go back into Blackboard. and we'll go back into assignments and quizzes. So the assignment document, the way that I give you the assignment, there's some notes about submitting it, and you can click on this and find the document, but you don't see anywhere here what the due date of the assignment is. You have to click on the name of the assignment, and that seems to be something that a lot of people miss. And I can tell because people will say, when is that assignment due? Well, I wouldn't give you an assignment unless it had a due date on it. Well, I suppose I might make a mistake sometime, but all of your assignments have due dates assigned. So this one is January 14th at midnight. And here's the assignment document. It's a Word document. And when you are doing your assignment, you're going to go and get this Word document, save a copy on your local machine. So save a copy of this document on your local machine, and then follow the instructions in the document, filling your answers into the same document. And then you're going to save that and submit that back as your assignment. So let's look at what the job is in assignment 1. So this is a link to the videos for this class that are on YouTube. So they're stored in a playlist. The playlist is important. You don't have to sort through all of the Java ones and everything. The playlist for COP1000 is at this link. So the first thing that you're asked to do in this assignment is to look at the video Appendix A1 and download and install Visual Studio Express 2013 Windows Desktop. And how to do that is demonstrated in the video Appendix A1. Now, there's not that much difference between the older versions and the newer versions. So if you have one called Visual C++ Express 2010, you can go ahead and just keep that one. If you don't, the advice is go and get the newest one. So this must be a link to the actual appendix video, and this is a link to the playlist where all of the videos are shown. So now the next part of the assignment is go to the video lecture segment, Getting Started, and that's the first one at the top of the playlist, and follow through. This is to get the smallest possible computer program working, and then watch another segment. You're going to make another computer program. It's very small. You just follow along with typing what's in the video, and if you make a mistake, start again. Don't try and fix it at this point. It's easier to just start again. And you're going to demonstrate that you've done that by taking some screenshots. So if you know what the snipping tool is, it's an accessory in Windows. You can take a picture of the screen and paste it into a Word document, or you can just do Shift Print Screen. That will copy an image of your screen and paste that into this document to demonstrate that you've met these requirements. So you watch the videos and you follow along with them, and there isn't very much creative to do. You just follow along with what the video says to do, and then paste some screenshots demonstrating that you've done that. And here's a puzzle that you might be familiar with, Sudoku. And if you don't know how to play Sudoku, you can find some instructions here, and you're going to fill in this Sudoku puzzle. That's part of the assignment. And then at the bottom there's something called the deliverables. So here's what you have to do. Go onto the discussion board and post something in checkpoint 2. You're going to post something in checkpoint 2 when you have finished Hello World. So as soon as you get that done, go and post something on the discussion board saying, hey, I got that done. And if you had trouble with it, share with us what happened. Share with your classmates what went wrong and how you fixed it. You don't want to leave this to the last day. This download and installation of this software, it might take a while, and you might have a snag. You might have a bad internet connection at that time, or it might do something mysterious. Anything can happen, and you don't want it to be on the last night and say, well, it's not my fault, it's the computer's fault. So start going and doing this. Nothing is difficult about it. It will just take some time. Don't do it on the last day, and I will be able to tell when you have posted on checkpoint 2 that you're that you followed that instruction, and it's not the day before this assignment is due. Okay, so you're going to put stuff in this document, and when you're done, go back to where you found the assignment, where the due date is, and go down to Attach File and browse My Computer. Find the file that you've put your answers in and attach it to your submission. You can type some comments to me if you want to. I read them. I don't grade them. I only grade what's in the document. And then here's the part that people forget. You must click the Submit button that's down here at the bottom. It's red and blue now. Maybe that will help people to notice it. Okay, so you can submit your assignment only once. And sometimes people will say, oh, I submitted the wrong file. Well, don't do that, because you can submit something only once. Submit the right file. If you do make a mistake like that, you can correct it. I mean, send me an email. We can fix it once in a while, but doing it on every assignment gets really tiring. Okay, so here's what you have to do now. Go to the discussion board. I'm not sure why the discussion board takes so long to come up, and it failed completely that time. Let's try it again. Well, isn't this interesting? I even tried to switch to the Firefox browser. Sometimes Internet Explorer and Blackboard don't play well together. So I switched to Firefox to see if I could bring up the discussion board, and I can't. It seems to just sit there and spin for a long time. Okay, so I could edit this out and pretend that Blackboard is perfect. And if anything goes wrong in Blackboard, it's your fault. But we're using computer software, and we're learning to be computer software developers. And we have to kind of bounce off of these things. If you say, oh, Blackboard did something wrong, so now I don't have to do anything, so there. You don't get very far. The other response that students have is just to completely melt down. I can't submit my assignment because Blackboard is not working. I know I'm going to fail, and just complete panic. Neither of those two responses is appropriate. So I have a response now. I wanted to show you the discussion board where you could introduce yourself to the rest of the class, and you could post on the checkpoints that you have written a C program that says hello world, and I can't show you that. So I'm not going to melt down, and I'm not going to say, oh well, then I guess I don't have to do anything. I'm going to try again, probably tomorrow. And if I hadn't left this to the last day, then I'd be in real trouble. And I think this is a useful thing to have in the orientation video, because it always happens that the communication, we will have a communication breakdown between you and the online classes. At some point, it always happens, because it's not perfect. So be as diligent as you can, and don't panic. We have other ways of communicating. We can probably still use Blackboard email, so I could send you all an email if I noticed that something like this was going wrong. I could post something on the discussion board saying something was going wrong, except that it's the discussion board that isn't working. A sense of humor helps. Okay. So in the syllabus, one of the other things that I'm encouraging you to do is to make contact with me in Skype. And this is, you can do that right away as well. Use your real name, or indicate in the message when you make a connection to me that you're in my online class. So people tend to try to just make friends in Skype that I don't even know who they are. So give me some hint of who you are when you make the connection in Skype, and that's something that we can set up right away. When you need Skype, when you need to show me what's going on, or to show the tutor what's going on in your program, that's not the time you want to be fumbling around trying to get Skype installed and running. Okay, that's enough. I think this was kind of valuable. The discussions are not working. I've never seen that. We've been using Blackboard for maybe 7 or 8 years, and this is the first time I haven't seen the discussion board working. But let's assume it's because everyone is doing it at the same time, and it's just overwhelmed right now. Okay, that's good. When you get stuck on something, when you're confused, send me a Blackboard email. Don't panic, and don't say, oh, I don't have to do anything because I don't understand what to do. Be diligent, and everything will be fine. It's not that difficult a class, but there will always be some snags. Very good. I'm looking forward to this semester. I hope you all get an A. That's my objective, and I assume it's your objective as well.